Hi, everybody. This is Mike Gerdes with the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living. And today I want to talk about honesty. Ooh, um, the reason why I wanted to talk about honesty is that I recognize that sometimes I say I want to do something, but I don't follow through with the actions that allow me to do that. Have you ever done that? Now, let's say, for example, I've been working on releasing my COVID 15 pounds for a while. But if I really wanted to do that, if that was really my intention, I would have released it by now. So what's going on here? Am I really being honest with myself? You might be finding the same situation, whether it's your weight or smoking or any of those things that you find yourselves getting into that really aren't what you would like to be doing. How many of us out there are meditating every day? Oh, there you go, gotcha. How many of us are doing our treatment work, our spiritual mind treatment work? They're treating for peace in the world, treating for racial acceptance and treating for equality for all people. How many of us are actually doing that on a regular basis? Now, you and I, as religious scientists, as practitioners of the science of mind, have an opportunity really to affect change. That doesn't mean we don't protest, absolutely not. If you're young enough to be able to go join in a protest group, go for it. But all of us can treat. All of us can pray. And for those of you who aren't familiar with spiritual mind treatment, keep coming back. We'll teach you. But until then, know this. There's a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it as you learn to let it use you. And all we really need to do is focus on what we want rather than what we don't want, accepting it that it is so, and releasing it to God's law, the law of mind, and wonderful things begin to happen. But those wonderful things begin to happen through us, because the good of the universe happens through us and through those with whom we associate. It truly is a wonderful world. And we can experience that wonderful world to the degree that we open ourselves up to it. But we have to be honest. One thing I found is that when I'm learning something new, sometimes it requires me to take a look at what I've already thought was true. And I find sometimes that it's hard to let go of old ideas. It's hard to let go of old ideas as the way things should be, as the way things should look. In the last few years, a lot of things have changed from the way things used to be. We have gay marriage now. We have gender equality now. Well, to an extent, we're working at it. But there's a lot of situations that I remember 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50. I'm starting to show my age. Not too long ago, that didn't happen. We're experiencing a whole new paradigm. And if we take a view of where we've been in the last 50 years, or 70 years, or the last 10 years, we'll see that we've gone through an immense amount of change. And right now, we are going through an immense change. There are certain times I've noticed in history that something happens which is pivotal towards the transformation of the entire world. And I don't know if it's the death of George Floyd. Maybe that was what was the catalyst for it. Maybe it was a situation where people are just sick and tired of being sick and tired, and combined with the being sequestered with this COVID-19 and all that. We've had enough. Enough of injustice, enough of intolerance, enough of inequality, enough of not treating your fellow man like your brother and sister. We're seeing that now. And some of us were raised with thoughts of racial inequality. The black man, the black woman wasn't as good as. We would talk about, well, it's not so much the race, it's their culture. It's not so much can they do the job, but do they have the education to do the job? I think there's a whole lot of rethinking that we need to do with regards to the education that we give, the public education that we present to the world, that we present to our children. What is true is that if you're an inner city kid going to a public school, you don't get the education that somebody out here on the main line has going to school. And you know what? That's not fair. I think we need to change the idea as to what is fair in education. I think there needs to be equality in the opportunity that children have, no matter where they are in this state, no matter where they are in this country, to have a good education. There needs to be enough funding, there needs to be enough oversight, there needs to be enough leadership to bring that to task, to bring that to be. But that's going to require letting go of old ideas and accepting new ideas. And I know sometimes this isn't easy. I know that the ideas that people have had about the police department, some of us have had some good relations with them, and some of us have had some horrible relationships with them. But we make a mistake when we try to paint everybody with the same brush. Now, there are systematic problems within police departments in some places. And there's definitely needs to be a change of consciousness, a major change. And I think that change is a-coming. That change is a-coming faster than you know. So let's get honest. Let's get honest with what we're holding on from the past and that we're not wanting to let go of so that we could accept a greater now. It's not just a greater future, it's a greater here and now. Because if we're denying the here and now, we're in trouble. We're in trouble because it's going to run right over us. Because some things are just too big to hold back. I'd like to say one other thing. Remember I started off about losing that COVID-19? I love you. And if you're doing something that causes harm to yourself, that causes you pain, that causes you suffering, that's more likely to bring you to experiencing an illness or to jumping off the planet too early, I'm not happy about that. I'm asking you to make a choice to live healthy and to live long. Because I want to be in a relationship with you for a long, long time. So if you're not watching your diet, if you're not exercising, if you're engaging in unhealthy behaviors, please let that idea go and embrace a greater one. Please love yourself as much as we love you. And with that, we'll close for today. Dr. Maxine, of course, is going to be speaking tomorrow morning at 10:30 live stream. All you need to do is go to cslphilly.org and click on the live stream. You'll see it. And then guess what? Tomorrow, right after the service, right around 11:30, there's going to be a Zoom call where you can fellowship with other people. It's tremendous. So this will be the second time we've done the Zoom call, and it's great, it's fun, it's nice to be able to connect with people again. And for some of you new people that want to meet the people that have been coming for a while, it's a nice place to interact. Because I understand it can get lonely when you're dealing with this stuff, and this is a way to be unlonely. but you got to get involved in it. Again, just want to remind you, we love you, we care for you, and please care for yourself. Thanks.